question number 6. Distinguish between asexual and sexual reproduction. Again, the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. Why is vegetative reproduction also considered as a type of asexual reproduction? So we know that what is the difference, basic difference between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. If you want to compare these again, then here we go. If we talk about, first of all, we are going to talk about the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is the process or a biological process which involves fusion of gamete. That means the fusion of gamete is the fundamental feature, characteristic feature of sexual reproduction. And in case of asexual reproduction, there is no fusion of different types of gametes. There is no fusion at all in case of asexual reproduction. In case of sexual reproduction, we are talking about sexual reproduction. This reproduction, an advanced type of reproduction, involves two parents which are different. Two parents are involved of different sexes in case of sexual reproduction. And in case of asexual reproduction, there is only one parent required. Only one parent is required in asexual reproduction. If we talk about the offsprings of both of them, then sexual reproduction produces the offsprings which are similar to them but are not identically similar organisms or offsprings to them. They produce offsprings of their similar kind, they produce offsprings of their own type, but the offsprings are not identical to their parents. That means the offsprings produced from sexual reproduction have some variations in them from their parents. They are not genetically and morphologically similar to their parents and not similar among themselves. Alright, in case of asexual reproduction, the offsprings or progeny produced from asexual reproduction are exactly identical to their parents and among themselves, because they are genetically as well as they are morphologically similar to their parents. Why this is so? Because there is no fusion of different gametes, because there is no involvement of two different individuals. This kind of reproduction involves only one parent, hence there will be no gametic formation and no fusion. So there is no variations in them. Now, most of the animals reproduces through sexual type of reproduction. And in case of plants can reproduce by both means of reproduction. That is asexual reproduction as well as sexual reproduction. And this kind of reproduction, asexual reproduction, is actually a reproduction exhibited by the organisms who have simple organization such as algae and fungi. So these are the basic differences between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. This question also asking about why vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation is actually considered as a type of asexual reproduction. So first of all, what is vegetative reproduction or what is vegetative propagation? First of all, vegetative reproduction is also known as vegetative propagation. It is a process of type of reproduction. It is a process of reproduction through which plants are obtained without formation of seeds or spores. So vegetative reproduction is seen in case of plants commonly, and vegetative reproduction is a type of asexual reproduction because it does not involve gamete formation or gametic fusion. Only plants we are getting or obtained from vegetative propagation without seeds or spores. We can obtain these plants by cultivating the parts vegetatively. Such parts are known as tubers, suckers, bulbs, etc. So if we are getting or obtaining plants vegetatively or from the vegetative parts of a plant such as stems, roots, leaves, etc. So the plants obtained, the plants or progeny of plants obtained are said to be the organisms or offsprings produced from asexual type, and hence because the reproduction, vegetative reproduction, is not involving the formation and fusion of gamete, it is considered as asexual reproduction. So first of all, we are going to write about the differences of asexual and sexual reproduction. In the left we are going to talk about the asexual one, and in the right we are going to talk about the sexual one. So here we are going to talk about the sexual. First we are going to talk about sexual reproduction, and here we are going to talk about asexual. Alright, so first is there is gametic fusion. And this kind of reproduction does not involve any gametic formation or fusion. This is fusion. Also, this sexual reproduction involves two parents of different sexes. And in case of asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved. Only one parent is involved. Alright. The third basic difference between these two is their progeny. In case of progeny or offspring, we know that the offsprings produced through this kind of reproduction are of their parents' kind, but are not exactly identical to their parents. So, are not identical, and they have variation, plus they have variation. Whereas if we talk about the offsprings of asexual reproduction, they are known as to be clone. The clone is produced. Clones are being produced from the type of asexual reproduction. That means the offsprings are genetically plus morphologically similar. To their parents and among themselves also. So this is the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. Now we are going to talk about the vegetative one. Vegetative reproduction. So vegetative reproduction is a process through which we obtain plants without the formation of seed, or spores. The plants we obtain coming from the vegetative parts. We can obtain the plants vegetatively or by vegetative structures such as sucker, tuber, bulb, etc. And there is no gametic formation plus fusion. There is no fusion, of course. Hence, that is why the vegetative reproduction is considered as a type of asexual reproduction. So this is the complete answer or complete solution of question number 6.